Okay, I'm back. Let me get you guys back live here. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Let's go back. Refresh. Alright, there's the video I want. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, everything's okay. He had a missed call on his desk phone and he's like, I hope everything's okay. I said, everything's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. Let's see. If I tilt you all back this way a little bit. All right. There we go. Yeah, Scott was just... He had seen a missed call on his office phone and then he couldn't reach me, so he was a little panicky. I said, I'm fine, I'm fine. Yep, I knew it wouldn't take long once I could get to the answering service. Do y'all remember pagers? You would have to enter your number and wait for somebody to call you back. I was thinking about those the other night while I was sitting in the bathtub taking a bubble bath for some reason. I don't know why. I was thinking, man, that was just so old-timey. As my little brothers would say when they were little. It's old-timey. This is just not wanting to stick right there. Yeah, Scott used to have one too, and when I got in a wreck, my one and only wreck, I couldn't remember his pager number for nothing. Was so shocked. I guess I had shock from it, but it wasn't anything, too dangerous or deadly. It's just I was upset because I'd wrecked the truck. Tippy, do you need to go out? I've already asked you twice. He had me feed him again, little porker. He's going to be fat as all get out at the rate he's going. He's going, you've got lots of stuff pulled out. I want to play too. What are you doing, buddy? These cats rule, At least they think they do. Scott said, yep, I was up till midnight herding cats. I was like, herding cats? He said, yep. We used to call dial-up internet the dirt road instead of the superhighway or whatever they used to call it. The internet superhighway. We had dirt road connection back in the day, as they say. He needs to go out, you guys. Hang on. All right, Lisa. You have to go. You got me up. All right. Let's go see where Howie and Callie are. You little shit. Don't do me like that. All right. I've done my bit on the cat herding. Oh, Oh, goodness. My sister-in-law pays for the internet here, and we pay for the internet down at our house. So I don't know what she has here. I just use it. hope you guys can't hear my stomach. It sure is making a lot of noise. And when it starts growling, I start thinking about things I shouldn't think about, like donuts and Mama Maria's up the road, going for calzones or a stromboli. Not that I could eat a whole stromboli on my own anyway, but yeah. Alright, let's see how this first one's doing. I just love the way these things feel once you start adding the layers. They start getting a whole different texture to them. This is just a little bit cool to the touch. Oh, I'd love some Ferrero Rocher chocolates, or one of those candy bars, Lindt candy bars that's got the orange inside. Oh, I love those things too. Linda, I've never tried that, and I've never had any delusions. So if you try it, I'll watch you try it. I haven't tried the delusions yet because I've seen a lot of people get brand new products and it'll be all like glumpy. I've gone through so much stuff and I still have piles of stuff to go through. And I'm determined not to buy anything this month at all. I'm not going to buy anything. I'm going to try to use this stash up. I've got quilt projects I've got to get done. I've got a round robin to work on, and I need to do some blocks that is for a swap that I named Love and Chocolate. So the blocks have to be done in pinks and browns. So I just got to decide on which 12-inch block pattern I want to do. And I have to make one for each person in the swap. And I think I'm thinking there's 5 of us total so far signed up. So only five blocks to make. So that's not too bad. Of course, a lot of people will wait till last minute and then they'll want to sign on, and then I'll have to make like 5 more, but that's okay too. I'm glad this is a project for myself because I got a piece of Tippy's hair sticking out of it. I'm just trimming the excess tissue paper away. I seem to be cutting into the card a little bit too, but that's okay. That means it'll be mine. All mine. My mistake. My boo-boo. Sometimes you can pull it off. Tippy went out. I called him a little shit. Did you not hear that? Because he'll go over to the door. He'll dig on the mat. He'll dig on the door a little bit. He'll look at me, and I'll walk over there, and he'll turn his back to me, walk 5 steps away from the door, and sit down. And so I called him a little shit. But he's gone outside now. The cats, I don't know if it's because of the cold weather or whatever, but they have been... I don't know, wired for sound. They've been just so full of energy and just being ugly to one another. Callie's been jumping on Tippy and Tippy on Howie and just not behaving like very nice, sweet little cats, that's for sure. I had trimmed these corners at the top of this to make it look more like a tag with a funky corner rounder, and it's just, that's hard to cut around. Next week we're going to do something not related to this page, because I think now that I've gotten a couple tags made and stuff, it's a matter of just filling it in with stuff that happens and things like that. The S word, yes. Oh, I can't find the stupid mouse, and your message will go away before I can say show. He can be a little snot. He does Scott like that all the time. Scott says he's your cat. He don't listen. He don't do anything right. I'm cutting the card a little bit because I can't see it. It's all right. I found a website today, and I was going to tell you all about it. It is at, let me see if I can, I'll go get the link for it and pop it in if I can. But I found it today, and it has 31 reasons to celebrate every day of January, or something like that in it. And I was just going to share it because I thought it would be a neat list to include in my funky little journal page. Let me go over here. It's at thespruce.com. And copy, and then jump back over. I've got 2 YouTube windows open. I'm going to put some white stenciling on this now, and then we'll add some flowers. There you go. See if that'll do. I don't know if it'll give you an actual link or not. Yeah, it does. But it says 404 page not found. We need to spruce things up, it says. But it's thespruce.com, and they have a section on there of 31 things to celebrate in January. If I can remember, I'll add it to the description box of this video when it's over. I'll come back and add it. How about that? The texture on this side, this I did with a comb and paint. Yeah, I just ran this comb like this down the page, and it gave me that cool texture. And on here, this is just the back of the playing card, and I did like that. I wish I could find some more of these large playing cards, because I think they could be a lot of fun to do. So, and I'm going to stencil on both sides, I think. Let me grab a stencil. I should have done that. Man, I've got tissue paper all over the floor. I get it cleaned up, and then I tear it apart. Let's see. Oh, you know what would be fun? What if we just make some different shapes that I can journal in on here instead of a whole all over card? On this one I'll do this. On this other one I'll use a stencil, a regular shaped stencil. Let's see. I'm just going to use whatever's out and laying here. I think it's raindrops. It's raindrops, but that's okay. We'll do some raindrops on that one, and just some journaling spots on this other one. Yeah. Playing cards for those that can't see. That would be cool. All right, let's do, and I'm going to offset these so that I can stamp a flower off to the side. And I'm just going to put this paint right down on my painty paper. I got to come up with 20 pieces of painty paper for that swap on Melissa's group. I've got some made, but I don't have 20. And I'm just going to use a dirty sponge. Ooh. These work good when you're doing envelopes too, because you can do the address labels sections. Might wipe this with a paper towel just so I don't get stuff everywhere. I think I don't want to use all of the same shapes all the way down either. There's a balloon. There's like this one. I don't care for that one too much. I know it's supposed to maybe look like a tag, but to me it looks like a tombstone, and I don't know if I want to use that. I can use some balloons. I'm trying to keep it out of the one I just did. Let's see. Oh, and I think I set it in it. Balloon. This makes me think of 99 red balloons go by. You can even put some so that it's off the edge of the paper. They look really white on the camera, but it's got some yellow in it from the paints that was on the sponge. I just really like these balloons. Can you tell? So I'm going to set this aside and let that dry, and that'll give me places to write things on there. And we could do something else along on those things if we don't want this color to be this vibrant. But I kind of like the reverse concept of the colors are bright in the background and the envelopes, holy heck, the balloons are, the prominent thing. And I'll stick these in the sink with some Murphy's oil soap, and it'll loosen all that stuff up in a little bit. But let's see. We'll set that over there. And let's put some raindrops down this one. It's Nana's Place is here. Hello. Hi, Rose. I hope you're feeling okay. I looked up on your blog what your diagram that you had on there about your eye. I have enlarged nerve endings in my right eye, at the back of my eye. and they're watching me for any change from year to year to make sure I don't have glaucoma. If they start seeing a change, they'll start treating me for glaucoma. At least that's what she told me, when she did all the behind the eye x-rays, which if you've never seen your eyeball like that, it's kind of creepy. It's like a big red sphere with these wiggly things at the back of it. It's kind of creepy. I said, well, that would explain why sometimes it feels like my right eye is going to bulge right out of my head. Yeah, I'm just having to live with it until we see any change in it. And it doesn't bother me all the time, so that's why I had never mentioned it to anybody. And then I went to this new eye doctor, and she said, we need to really watch that and check that. It can be pretty serious. And my left eye, the nerve endings at the back of the eye looked great. And she said, now look at the right eye. And she said, now you can see why we're concerned. So I just have to be patient. I need to be better about using the stupid eye drops every day. It's so hard to remember to do those. I'm supposed to put, I think it's Sustain in at one time a day and the re something. See, I don't even do it often enough to remember what it's called, which is bad. I should be doing it more than that. My mind is working on what to do next. Let's see. I'm going to have a pile of trash to clean up at the end of this. I can tell right now. So now if we want to put some flowers on here, I don't have a lot of yellow and it doesn't feel like I have a lot of pink. So let's see if we can pour the pink out and use it up. See if it'll come out. Oh, bye, Roesta. Blue flowers. Oh, I've got some pink out, but hang on. I don't know if I have. Ugh. See, this paint needs to be used up. It's getting those globs in it, and I can't stand that. Let me get some blue. It won't be neon blue, but it'll be blue. We might actually, let's see. I've got color shift blue that might look really cool on there. And again, I don't have a lot of it left either, so I'll just pour some of it out. I love this color shift paint. I'd love to get the whole collection of it. And by pouring it out on this paper, I'm making painty paper too. Oh, I thought I had another sponge over here. I do. What if we do, let's see. I really like the bigger flower, the best out of these that I made from the yoga mats. And I just use a sponge to load the thing up. It looks like I needed more paint than I put out. Let's see. Let's do a full one right there. Oh, it's not dark enough. Let me get something else. Maybe we can do the color shift on top of a more solid blue. Let's just do a dark blue. That one's not been opened yet. Let's get one that's been opened. This is the Americana Satin Multi-Surface Acrylic Paint. Let's see what we get. Woo! I'm wondering if I got blue paint down my front now, because that made a weird noise when I opened it. When is hunting season over? Is it over now? put your pink right on top of it. I could probably do that if I can remember which way to put this heart, because it's hand cut. Not heart. Oh my goodness, you guys. Words are like not coming out of my mouth the way they are in my head. Flower. These are all hand cut. Let's see. It looks like this is here. Let's see if I got it close to matching. I had to stand up to do this. That's a little better. Now you can see it. Now we can see it, and I can come back with a one of the pencils, not pencils, the paint pens, and doodle on this, and it'll be more visible. Posca pen. And again, I'm not worried about stamping off the edge because it'll just decorate my paper underneath better. That one, I'm picking up some of the white because the raindrops were not, the raindrops weren't dry. Yeah, I'll outline it and then doodle inside them. That raindrop was... See, now that one doesn't look dark enough. It'll be all right, though. We'll make it work. Make it work. All right, now I've only put paint on 2 of them just to add a little something right here. There we go. That'll be one of my funky tags. All right, now let's see. I'll just set that on top of the, what's it called? Mod Podge. And I'm just going to get another piece of paper to lay down on here. That's already got some stuff on it. I don't know if the coffee news is everywhere in the United States, but I pick them up sometimes because the weight of the paper is so cool. But I figured I could bring this over and we can just lay it down here so I can do this other tag. Okay. I want to just add a couple flowers, but this time I think I will use the pink to stamp this blue off on my paper over here. And I'm not even going to worry if they mix, because then I'll end up with purple flowers, but I want some of the blue off from here. Let's see here. I don't think I have enough pink on here to even do anything. That's not even doing anything. Let's see if we can get some more out of here. It's a regional thing. Okay, because it's in almost every like little coffee shop or all right, this pink is getting used up one way or another. I'll spread this around with my spready thing. We'll have to pick the goobers off from this stamp here. It's gotten really just gross. I'm going to see if I can get any of the color out of it. It's pretty gloppy. Scott and I, yesterday was his last day off before having to go back to work. And he said he wanted to go get gas, and we decided to go to Nazario's down the road to get supper last night. And then he started just driving around. He said, come on, let's go to Pickens. And he said, and I said, I know where you want to go in Pickens. I said, you want to go to that little antique store. He said, yeah, you never know what she'll have in there. So he didn't find anything, but I found a set of plates with cats cooking on it that I can hang in my new kitchen. And I didn't have any cash. And this little lady, she's got to be in her 80s. She runs this place. And I said, but I didn't get any cash. He said, how much are they? And I said, there's 4 plates for $10. And he pulled out a 20. He said, I want you to have them. And isn't he sweet? I couldn't have asked for a better husband, I tell you what. Oh, that's kind of cool. It did make kind of a purpley pink color on it. I wish I had enough of that pink now to do a whole bunch of flowers, but it's like, it's really gloppy. It's just so gross. Okay, I'm going to just pick up the globs and wipe them on paper towel. It's just so gross. There's no rescuing paint once it's reached that stage, is there? So gross. Gross, gross, gross. All right. See if I can get that in the trash can without getting it on me. Maybe I'll just go straight for purple. Purple's on this side. I'm trying to use up a bunch of the really older paints that have just a little bit in them. I think this is a Craft Smart too. Oh, that's a really old paint. Apple Barrel doesn't do their labels like that anymore. I don't think. That's from Michael's from, I used to know the date codes on them. It says, I think 96. That's old. Let's just go ahead and use some plum. Everything I'm grabbing is so old. It's got globs in it. That one's really disgusting. Okay, let's just pick the glob up, Becky. Put it in the trash. I'm gonna have a pretty trash bag. I use these up and I'll have space for new ones, but I'm not going to buy anything this month. It'll have to wait till next month. It's no fun when your eyes start failing you. That's for sure. Especially if you're a visual person like me. I don't know what I would do if my sight was gone. I guess you learn to live with whatever happens. Okay, let's see. I think this goes this way. Maybe? That doesn't seem right. Maybe this one is this one? That looks closer. There we go. Now I can doodle on that. I'm going to have to stand up for a minute just so that I can see what I'm doing. Let's see here. Balloons and flowers. I don't know how many people like Netflix, but if you haven't watched Godless yet, you need to. That was an awesome show. And it's got the gal that played the oldest daughter on Downton Abbey on there. Man, we watched all of the episodes together. It was good. But definitely an adult show, so if you've got small children, it might not be for them. There's a lot of violence and some nudity in it. Just warning you. Can't have an even number of anything on a page. It drives me bonkers. Alright, so that's pretty cool looking. And I'll do some doodling, but probably not in another live video. I'll probably do that kind of stuff just, when I need something to do, watching TV or whatever. What the show Godless is, it's kind of like a spaghetti western, the old Clint Eastwood type movies, like oh, now I can't think of any of the Clint Eastwood names. Oh wow, I just can't remember them. I can't remember. It's cowboys, and it just was really good. If you like that kind of stuff, and Scott and I, we really seem to enjoy it. And I've been fluctuating between watching Godless with him and watching Deep Space Nine. Okay, I'll watch for whatever you're editing. Yeah, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. That's exactly the one I was thinking about. What was it one where they tried to hang him high? Or, I don't know. I've been working my way through all of the Star Treks. I've watched Enterprise. I've watched the one with Catherine. Catherine was the captain. I can't remember it. So, yeah, I've been working my way through them because I didn't get to see them all because we haven't owned a TV in years. But Netflix gets me because I can watch something and not have to watch commercials because commercials drive me bonkers. All right, let's see. I'm thinking this side needs some pink or something flowers, but this is still wet. Let me dry it some. Makugard by Life Extensions. I might have to look for those. There goes the school bus. Kids are back in school. I bet that's made them ecstatic. And even though I've covered all of this, if I take and I use like one of those labels or something to attach on a note onto here, or a picture like I did Meridell's ATC, if I attach something and I use a mat, All right, I want some pink. So let me go grab a different pink than this one that's full of nasty. Well, there might be enough here to do it. Let's use this up. And I'm not buying any more Craft Smart paint. It's just not worth it to me. I would rather buy Folk Art or Americana and not that stuff. Just saying. I'm just gonna, let's see here. Is this dry? Is this dry? Is this dry? I'm gonna have to kind of go out of camera for just a sec to put these on because I'm getting wet paint everywhere. Catherine Janeway, that's who. That's the other one I watched. Rose, where did you buy that vitamin for the eyes? Did you get it like at Walmart or somewhere like that? Macugard. It's so quiet in the house, you guys. I've had Scott home when he wasn't down at the house and he was home here. So now I'm like, it's a little weird being quiet again. Not that he's a big talker. Let me tell you, he's not. I told him this morning, I said, somebody hit your mute button. Because he quit talking totally. He said, yep. Said he was thinking about religion. I was like, okay. And then the next thing he was thinking about was how to do something with some machine. I don't know. It's like his mind goes everywhere. And then he couldn't find the keys to the basement because the door to the basement's got a different lock than the front door. And he was like, I can't find the keys. And if we lose that key, we're really stuck because we haven't been able to get another one made because the door's that old. Okay, I'll look on Amazon. And I said, well, he said, wait a minute. I did go down there in the middle of the night and I was wearing my robe. I said, well, it sounds like you need to check your robe pocket. I'm just going to, there's a dot of paint got on here. I'm just going to mash it with this, spread it out a little bit. Here we go. There's another part to the card. And like I said, I'm going to doodle on these. I was going to stencil with the white some more, but kind of liking what these are looking like as they are. And if I doodle with pens, it'll look even cooler. Now this other side needs some flowers on it. Let's do some drying. What's bad for me is I don't know half of my health history because I didn't really know my father or his family. I knew who they were, but I wasn't allowed to acknowledge them. That whole 1960s born out of wedlock thing where you didn't talk about it. You just kind of, it was all hush hush. And they're all gone now, from what I understand. My uncle came and told me that my natural father had died, but I don't know where he died. Probably out in California or up in New York, or I don't know. I didn't have a connection with him, so there's that. Okay. Okay, let's see. I think I do want some more, a different pink. I have quite a mess over here, though. I could use that up. Like I said, I'm trying to use this Craft Smart paint up. What time are we got? We got 4:18. I'm going to get off here at 5 o'clock. This is a real, it says bright pink, but compared to what I just been using, it's not bright pink. Don't look bright at all compared to that other. And it doesn't look pink at all because of all the purple that's on my sponge. But I'm not really concerned about it. Somebody's home. They've jumped up on the door. Not too bad. I'll have to go let them in here in a minute. The temp's dropping. I can feel the house getting colder. Scott went to check on the furnace. We have fuel oil here. Oh, thanks, Rose. And he said he could smell the fuel oil, and he says he thinks it's when it's really cold, the exhaust chimney for the furnace isn't above the roof line. I mean, it was built in 1944, so we're kind of sketchy on how things do. And he says he thinks sometimes the backdraft puts it into the house. So that's why we smell fuel oil every once in a while. I said, as long as the stupid house doesn't catch on fire with us in it, or the animals, I'll be just fine. I told Scott the other day maybe we should have renter's insurance, even though we don't pay any rent, in case there is a fire. Because I'd hate to start over with all of my craft stuff, you know? All right. Just going to set this stuff aside to dry, and I'll come back and doodle on it. And I'll just share what I do. Let me go let him in before he tears the door completely down. Oh, hey. Timmy. It's a Calilicious. Wasn't tippy at all. Oh, you guys, if you're jiggling, that's Miss Callie. She did it. She's in the chair I've got y'all attached to. It'll stop here in a minute. All right, I'm just gonna stick this down in the paint and stamp off some of these flowers. She'll be still here in a minute, and y'all will quit rocking and rolling. Just jumped back down. She's got to go see if there's some fresh food in the kitchen. Flower power. Exactly. That was my idea when I made the stamps. This where I've had globby paint over here. I think I'm gonna once it dries, I'll stencil over it and call it a painty paper. On the lighter side, how can you identify a dogwood tree? Ready for it? By its bark. Wish I'd seen those jokes before I started painting over them. Oh well. So I'll set that aside, and that'll become part of a painty paper too. So that's what I was going to do today, and I don't really have anything else. Oh, hang on. I've got my envelope from Rose here. I haven't shared yet. I can share that real quick. See, it says, let it snow, or let it snow, or let it snow. A dogwood tree. How do you tell a dogwood tree? By its bark. Woof, woof. It's okay, Linda. Oh, I hope I don't get anything on these. I mailed Rose an envelope, and she mailed me one back, and I haven't had a chance to share them because I put them up while I was cleaning, and I put them up too good. Oh, that's pretty. I actually have some in navy blue like this yellow. I got it at Joann's when I worked there. That's, oh gosh, that's been ages. And then there's this piece of, looks like it's got a carpet on it. And that's cool. That almost looks like greenery, like a plant. That, yeah, and like I was saying, I have this in like a navy, I think, in my specialty papers. Oh, that's cool. That's been stitched on. Can you see that? That is really cool. I have a blue thumb. Oh, there's my note from Rose, and we'll save that for private. I think these have stuck together. And then she's got a little shaky thing here. Okay, Rose. Some of it's coming out. So what is that in there? It got crushed a little bit. But that looks cool. And then there's the painty paper. This would make a good bookmark. I could laminate that and have a bookmark. Oh, see, here's some more of that stuff that came out of your shaker. Oh, that's cool. What's this one done on, Rose? It's a mint sachet with Christmas sparkles in it. Sorry it got crushed. Oh, okay. Thank you, Kiki, for helping Linda understand the joke. Yeah, the dogwood trees bloom here about Easter time. Is this packing? Oh, it's packing tape on a jelly print. That's cool. That is really cool. I've never done that, so that's a new thing for me. This one's cool too. Now I'm wondering if I put these in a laminating pocket and I laminated them, would it be stiff enough to be bookmark, or would I need to mount this on a solid piece of cardstock? Because I think this would be a beautiful bookmark. I'm going to try to read more this year. Perfect Pearls. I read it as Perfect Pairs, and then I realized the L got hit with a different thing. But that's okay. I understood what you meant. That's cool. This has got some dendritic printing to it. It's pretty cool. Oh, I can smell the mint now. This is a very light dusting. Callie's getting back in her chair. I'm using her chair. Ugh, the horrors. Oh, these are cool. Okay, these are like, yeah, these are stickers. And the top one says advice. What piece of wisdom or advice would you like to pass on? And who influenced your life the most? And what did you think you would be when you grew up? I might use these in my January page and fill them in and just stick them in the pocket or stick them on one of the tags. That would be cool. They don't exactly match the color scheme for January, but hey, it doesn't matter. They're mine. I can do them any way I want to. So I'm going to slide these back in here. And Rose, I'll read your letter off camera. So, anyway, I have not done that, Janet. I saw Shannon do it, and well, I was just doing the tags for my page. So there's one side of this one here. And I started by putting down the same fluorescent colors, and I ran this comb through them like this to get that wavy texture in the background. You can still see some of the card, and I'm not real worried about that. I don't know if you can still see the waviness in there or not. I'm way away. Come on, Becky. Get with it, woman. There we go. Just trying to figure out where the camera is. I'll have to see if my mother-in-law has any cereal bags, because cereal is one of the things Scott and I gave up when we discovered we were diabetic. We don't eat cereal. We eat oatmeal, but not bagged cereal. It's full of carbs. We can't do it. So, yeah. Here's the big tag for the bag part. It's still really wet. And I'm going to doodle on these when they dry a bit more. And I did balloons and a little label up there. I might put the list of things to celebrate in January on this card. There's things like today is National Women's Rock Day, and we're supposed to thank the women in our life for being there and being a good influence on us. And I think tomorrow is National Spaghetti Day, so you're supposed to have spaghetti for dinner. So let me see if I can get these dry enough to use my Posca pen, and I might doodle a little bit on one of them before we leave. I might just do it on this one because this one's just feeling really cold, which means it's really, really wet still. That one I may just leave to dry overnight. Tomorrow I got to make sure everything's put up so that I can sew on that quilt, because I needed to get it back in the mail to Betty out in North Dakota. Mine should be coming home soon too. I think mine's still up in Maine. Mine's only one step away from being back home. There must be some of the mint on the table because the heat from the heat gun is making it smell really good in here. It smells like candy. We'll get a Posca pen and we'll start on this blue side. I'm going to throw this tissue back in the tissue bag I've got here. It's full of tissue. And you know, I can always come back to these and like hand paint something on them. Like if I decide something moves me to want to add, like, I don't know, what's something a spring? I could paint a butterfly on some of these. Let's see if this is... Yep, I actually have a flip-flop in my bucket of junk to do stamping with. And did you know flip-flops have all kinds of different textures, so you have to go and you have to flip them over and look at the bottoms of all the flip-flops, because I noticed last year that the ones they had at Joann's in the bins were different than the one that I had here at the house. But I didn't buy one that day. They're pretty cheap there. Especially at the end of the season, you can get flip-flops really cheap at Joann's. Michael's carries flip-flops too. But I just never bought any more. I have the one. Maybe when I'm settled and I have like a regular art room instead of having a place where I have to, put stuff away. Not that I wouldn't have to put things away in my own place, but when you have your own room, you can have a lot more stuff. It's like my brother was complaining about something, and I said, well, you've decided to have children. What makes you think you'll have things? You either have things or you have children. You can't have both. Scott's friend Terry said his mother always told him, why are you complaining? You decided to have kids. What makes you think you're going to have anything? Kids tear up everything. I'm just outlining the petals right now. Now, if you don't have a Posca pen, you could come back with a fine paintbrush and go around the petals with just your white paint. Or whatever paint you wanted to go around the outer edge. Just keep in mind, if you get a Posca pen, they do stay wet for a little bit of time, so unless you're planning to purposely smudge something, I'd wait for it to dry before I went over it with my finger. Oh, I'm getting hungry. Sitting here thinking about food. I guess it is nearly dinner time. I almost feel like we need to add something else to the background. I don't know what yet. I'll think on it. Chat's flying by when I was drawing around petals. Let me scroll back up here and see what you guys was talking about. We can find webcams like at Goodwills and stuff. We got one time that was $4. It works. A dark border? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It needs something. I tell you what, I'll go grab a paintbrush and we'll get something that'll show up. I'll get something. find a fine tip paintbrush. Bear with me. That might actually work really good. I hate when cheap paintbrushes have the paint all starts to come off the handle. But if it's what you can afford, it's what you can afford. Now I'm just going to use some Glorious Gold. Oh, a thin black marker. I don't think I have any thin black markers. I'm going to just try this and see what it looks like. I'm going to go right over the white. I don't know. I don't think I like that. Before it dries. See what I've got in black. I don't know what I've got. This is a Le Plume pen. See if it even writes. What about tape? Don't cover the white. Like that, Aristi? Do that instead. Washi tape. I have a love-hate thing with washi tape because it never sticks for me. It ends up falling off. I'll go back to the ones that I covered the white and put the white back. No biggie. I was going to do a video at my brother's house the other day for the twins' birthday party, but it was just too crazy. I did put a few pictures on my blog if anybody was interested in seeing the cutie pies. The blog is at lifeforus.blogspot.com. You can even go read a bunch of stuff from the past if you wanted to, if it struck your fancy. Funny how some of the colors from the tissue paper are coming through the petals on some of these flowers. So I see like red, and that does look pretty cool with the white showing. So we'll just get the Posca pen back. I have a little thing that holds my phone. I showed it in the video that I did the other day on recording live and all that. And it works. It's just if you bump it, it wiggle woggles. These petals might look a little smaller doing it this way, but it'll be all right. That looks pretty cool like that. Oh, that's a cool idea. Rubber bands. Google and YouTube are all together. Some of these you can't see because of the print underneath. I really like this one up here, this one here, that where you can see the tissue behind better than the one where it's solid. Yeah, this one's doing pretty good on the back of the chair as long as Callie doesn't like move around a bunch. What about yellow dots in the middle for the middle of the flower? I can get some yellow paint. What do you think? This is just... I'm going to have quite the mess to clean up on these paintbrushes and stuff, but that's all right. White dots. Okay. I just thought they'd get lost with the raindrops in the back. Yeah, I'm afraid it... I don't know. Let me think. Think. Cadmium yellow, maybe. Or white and yellow. I could do like a yellow base and then come back and put a white dot in the middle. Oh, it's got like an eyeball in the middle. Little bubbles. Make these a little bit bigger. Oh, there's an airplane or a helicopter going over again. Last night there was a bunch of helicopters going over. It was freaking me out. Last time we had a whole bunch of helicopters going over. Somebody shot somebody. Husband had shot a wife out on the main road. That freaked me out. Splatters. Some splatters would be cool too. Yeah, the dots did get lost, but that's okay. Let's try this yellow. Got 10 minutes till 5. Your internet is weird, Jamie. APG Jamie. It's getting cold in here, you guys. I have to close the blind, but I want the natural light as long as I'm online. Also, keep in mind, a good bit of these will probably be covered with like labels and things. Let's see if I can find those labels again. For those that were just coming in. These that I'm making today will go in my wild page here. And I attached this today, and Mary sent me this here where she hand carved 2018, and she made this little folder. And this is another thing she hand carved here. That's her little doll she has. That's a pin cushion. And she carved that and then stamped it out on her envelope. And I just cut it out and put it there. And I put an arrow on here that I punched out. And then I've got her address off her envelope there. And then this is what she made me. So I'll have that forever and always in my book. And this is the side that'll hook onto the binding that we decide to do later in the year. And this flap opens like this. So we can add things all on here. And then when you close it back up and you flip it over, this is where that large playing card will go, is in this pocket that's made from the bottom of the bag here. So I've got lots of room to record stuff that I find interesting. I might add some quotes. I might add lists of things, maybe books I'd like to read, things like that. So this will go in the big bag. It's not quite dry, so I don't want to slide it in there yet. And then that'll go in the little pocket. And I think the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with some white and just add a little white dot on those. I'm just going to put a little white out on this. Don't need a lot. And I'm not pressing in, I'm just letting the paint flow off the paintbrush down on it because I don't want to pick up any of that yellow. And it's still wet. I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put all this stuff to dry. But the kitty cats can't get in it because they're rotten. Rotten. Alright. Oh, 12 inches of snow. We're not supposed to get any snow up here, but down near our house, they might get some. So hopefully my son will make sure the dogs are in their dog house. Janet's near where I grew up. Oh, Jamie, you're supposed to move the pink things. You're not supposed to stamp through them. Oh my goodness. You make me glad I'm down here, Janet. Oh, I wish it was 50 here. The temp's dropping. It's down to 36 now, according to this computer, but who knows. It could be lower than that on the weatherman that I got, Scott. Ooh, let's just play in the paint that I've got on the paper here. Make some globby globs. I'm making painty paper, painty paper, painty paper. Painty paper is nothing but making a mess out of what you have left over, if you ask me. But I know you didn't ask me, but it's okay. I'm going to tell you anyway. I would love some Chinese food, you guys. I might sneak off to China Star here in a minute. This has got a lot of paint in it. You don't think about the amount of paint that gets sucked up into a sponge, but oh, my stomach is going to tear the house down. I don't usually worry about trying to clean these old things up here. I just throw them back in their box because they're just going to get globbed on again. Let's see what we got here. This is pretty dry. Might as well play with the paint you got on the table, right? Yeah, that switch back and forth, that's usually when everybody starts getting sick because they've been between two temperatures. And plus, it's been the holidays, so you've been visiting with family from out of town or out of state, and everybody shares their cooties while their holidays are on, and then the weather turns all funky, and all you got to do is get a little bit chilled or whatever and come across somebody that's got snot nose, and there you go. You're sick next thing you know. I'm hoping Scott doesn't bring home a bunch of stuff that people caught, you know, while visiting with family, because that usually happens. As long as he doesn't get the flu ever again, I'll be glad. Listening to him wheeze that time was just horrible. And sacrilege, I throw these sponges out. I don't keep them. I try to empty them out as much as I can, and then I just pitch them. So look, painty paper. It doesn't look so hot over here, but I'll fix this with the stencil later. All right. Okay, dears, I think I'm going to let you guys go. 2 minutes left. I have to stay the whole 2 minutes, just saying. Jeez, woman. I'm going to move this, and I'll bring in what I did today. I'll set that down, and one of the cats will come in and put their rump right in the middle of it. One of them's hanging from the door right now. The screen we just took all the time to replace. Yeah, that was a pointless endeavor. So today we made 2 tags to go in our funky page that's very wild. I might even come in and do a little doodle on the green border with my Posca pen, just to tone that green down. Are you thinking about a hydrangea? Yeah, Eva, we're just finishing up. I start at 2:30 and end at 5. Let me open the door. 2:30 to 5 on Wednesday. You can come visit with me and we'll do stuff. Let me open this door before they completely tear the house down. Dude, chill out. Come on, boys. Come on. Oh, Howard. Howie. Wasn't Tippy being bad, it was Howard. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Howard. Let me pick you up here. That's Howie going off into the kitchen. This is Callie. She's the one that's been rocking the camera. And there goes Tippy. Tippy. The boys want something to eat. She's already been in the kitchen and ate something, so she's good to go. So there's what I did today. I'll show you the opposite sides of the tags. This is a huge tag, but I think I'm going to do lists on this. I might do a book list on here of books I'd like to read this year. And then on this other side, I might do that list of 31 things to celebrate in January. And then this was the playing card. And the centers are still wet. And then that's the back of it. The one with the purple is cool. This side. Yep, this is a stencil. I think it was a Creative Memory stencil that did all the different shapes like that. I haven't seen a lot of the challenges yet because I feel like I'm not going to have time to do them at this time. I am going to do some hidden giveaways for those that watch my videos and comment, especially when I reach 1,500 subscribers. I'm going to just pull winners from videos that I've done the week that I get to 1,500 subscribers. I'll just go to those videos that week and just put everybody's name in a hat, whoever's commented that week that I go 1,500 subscribers, and I'll draw some prizes. And I love Mary Dell's artist trading cards. I just think they're awesome. So anyway, we'll add to this page maybe another time. And next week we'll do something completely different than this. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet, but it'll be something. Maybe we'll do a Valentine's project. Would that be all right with y'all? We'll do something for Valentine's. Thank you, Eva. And, oh, it's getting really cold, you guys. I'm going to have to go and get a sweater on and shut blinds and all that stuff. So we'll do something Valentine-y. Howie's trying to get in his chair, and I've set a bag. Look. He's like, excuse me. Let me click you guys back up in here, and I'll show you those plates real quick before I leave. Let me click you back in here. I'll be right back. I just got to get something to eat and get this house warmed up a little bit. They're still in their wrappers from the lady wrapped them up so nice. I'm just going to set these on here. This little book I'm going to create this year is going to be very colorful at this rate. She wrapped them up so nice. But I saw them and I told Scott, I said, I really want them. He said, well, you can have them. They're square plates, and I'm just going to mount them on the wall. See if I can get this one on here so you can see it. Flip it this way. I just thought they're stinking cute. Uh-oh. Y'all just went and got drunk and fell over. Let's see here. Rotate device. This thing is driving me bonkers. Let's do it this way then. There we go. So there's that one, and it even had little paper in between it to protect them. I just thought they were stinking cute. Put this one down here. And for $10 for 4 of them. That one's my favorite. He's got a mixer and everything. Okay, here's the last one. I told Scott, I said, he's making a pizza. Scott said, I wonder if he'll put sardines on it. So anyway, I thought they were pretty. I really like them. And I love thrifting and finding bargains like that. 10 plates for $10. I mean, 4 plates for $10. $2 a piece for, and they're real heavy. And yes, stinking cute. Okay, guys, I will let you go now. Y'all have a good night. Who makes these? I almost clicked you off before I saw the question. Let me see. Cat Chef. See if it'll focus on it. It's not going to focus. Made in Italy. These were made in Italy. There we go. Cat Chef, made in Italy. So somebody paid a lot more for them than I did. That's for sure. Okay. Bye, guys.